Hey guys, thank you very much for tuning in to another video. I'm your host, Pride639, and today we are going to be talking about the new Call of Duty Vanguard game that's set to release in November. So this past weekend, it has been the open crossplay beta, which we've been playing it on PC. So you've guys seen the pros do it. You've seen all the top level streamers do it. They've played, they've offered their opinions. So I'm going to give you guys my take and my opinion just from a more average player perspective. Not only that, I'd also like to shout out Matmon Gaming for playing with me this past weekend. We had a lot of fun. We tried out a whole bunch of new things. It was great just to kind of talk about it, play with a few friends, and just overall have a pretty good time with this particular beta. But before we get into the video, guys, I just want to make sure that you guys drop a like on the video. Make sure that you do subscribe to the channel as well with the notification bell on, because that'll let you know exactly when new videos drop on my channel. Also, if you guys want to follow all the news and what's going on with what's happening with me and my streams, make sure that our guys are also following me over on Twitter at RiderPride639. It's the best place to contact me about any game-related stuff. Speaking of the streams, though, guys, if you want to see all this action live as it happens and when it happens, don't forget to follow me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/RiderPride639, where I go live 3 days a week, 6:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time on Saturdays. So let's go ahead and get into the discussion. I'll show you guys some gameplay, and also if you guys want to check out Matmon Gaming's site, you guys can follow his information right down below in the video description. So let's get into the gameplay and let's get into the opinions. All right, guys, so in the background here, you're going to see me playing some Call of Duty Vanguard beta alongside Matmon Gaming and a few more members of kind of our combined community. Overall, I think it was a pretty fun gameplay. But first and foremost, I think the first thing that we're going to start discussing is the game engine and the movement. So as pretty much everybody's aware, the Call of Duty Vanguard beta, the Call of Duty Vanguard engine is basically built on the Modern Warfare engine, so not the Cold War engine. So in terms of like the movement, the fluidity of the movements, a lot of it is very, very similar to Modern Warfare, which I really, really enjoy. I do prefer the Modern Warfare engine over the Cold War engine. So in terms of what I experienced, the movement felt pretty good. Slide canceling, I think, isn't quite what it used to be, especially on the Modern Warfare side of things. So that's something I would definitely like to see them kind of improve a little bit. But then again, we also got to take into consideration that there's going to be a lot of this stuff that's going to be ported over to Warzone here as well. The engine, though, like I said, the graphics look really, really great. There's a couple of major issues that I'll get into a little bit later that I definitely think need to be fixed right away, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you, if not all of you, will agree with me on this one here. But overall, the engine seems really, really good. The graphic options were fantastic. In terms of PC gameplay, everything feels pretty much like it did in Modern Warfare, except now you're in a World War II setting. So overall, I think the engine and the movement is quite nice. I like the feel of it. Matmon and his community, they thought that the engine itself was pretty well done as well. I didn't really hear any major complaints about movement or anything like that from them either. So that's my particular take on the engine and the movement. So next up, we are going to talk about the gunplay and the weaponsmithing and the loadouts. The guns in the game are pretty minimal at best. Like, there's not very much to select from. Like, there's only, I think, like 4 assault rifles, 4 SMGs, a couple of shotguns, 2 or 3 LMGs, and then, of course, you got your normal, like, you got 2 or 3 pistols, you've got your launchers, you've got your melee, you got your snipers, your marksman rifles, things like that. The gunplay is not bad. Again, because we're running on the Modern Warfare engine, you're going to see a lot of similarities in terms of the fluidity of movement, aiming down sights, things like that. The one thing that really, really stood out to me is the number of attachments that you can have on a weapon once you level it up. So with Modern Warfare, you could only ever have 5 at any given time. Didn't matter how, if you had the gun maxed or not. In Cold War, you were allowed up to 8 attachments with a specific card, which was the Lawbreaker, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments on that one. So having 8 attachments on a gun really kind of altered the way the gun felt. In Call of Duty Vanguard, you can have up to 10 attachments with no specific. There's no perk that you need. There's no card that you need. It's as long as you have the gun unlocked, as long as you have the attachment slots available to you, you can have 10 attachments on a gun. Craziness, absolute craziness. But at the same time, this offers a level of customization that's never been seen before in any Call of Duty game, at least to my knowledge. Not from the original Modern Warfare series, not from the Black Ops series. This is a whole new ball game when it comes to these attachments. So it's absolutely crazy what kinds of customizations you can make with these particular guns. So have a lot of fun with it. This is something, like I said, it's never been seen before, never been done before. But I think this is probably a great addition. Now, that being said, how this actually translates over to Warzone is completely up in the air. I would think personally that they're probably not going to take the 10 attachments into Warzone, simply because they didn't do it with the Cold War guns with that particular card that allowed 8 attachments. But on the flip side of things, they did recently release the new Iron Trials 84 mode in Warzone, where you can actually pick up redacted weapons that have attachments beyond the normal 5. However, you can't create loadouts with them, which is the main thing. So it's really, really hard to say what they're going to do with Warzone with the amount of attachments that you can have on these guns. But you know what? It's all we can really do is just kind of wait and see, and we'll just have to see what happens when Vanguard is integrated into Warzone. So, but other than that, like I said, editing loadouts, it was pretty fun. The limited amount of guns does kind of hurt a little bit, but it is what it is. I'm assuming much like any other, like what happened with Modern Warfare, like what happened with Cold War, more guns I assume will probably be added throughout the seasons as the game progresses. So the last thing that we're going to talk about is just some general bugs and just my kind of personal gripes about the current system. So in the beta, the anti-cheat is not active yet. Now, I know a lot of people have already seen this. The proof is already out there. People are using cheats in the Vanguard beta. You guys are losers. Get a life, really. If you have to cheat to win at a beta, you've got so many more things wrong with your life that, it just whatever. But people need to know that the anti-cheat is not there yet. So we have to wait and see on how that gets applied. From what I've heard a lot of talk about is it's supposed to be kind of like a learning AI. Like the AI is basically reading how these cheats work, so to speak. And then they're gonna build that anti-cheat out basically from that to know, so it knows what to look for, type of thing. So we'll see what happens when the anti-cheat actually goes live. So don't hold your breath just now. Obviously, this is a really, really big point of contestation. I know a lot of people are anxious to see what it's going to do, but like I said, it's going to be one of those things where we're just going to have to wait and see, and hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, cross your toes, whatever you have to do. Let's hope that this finally ends the wave of cheaters once and for all. Second point that really is probably noticeable to everybody is the sun flare. Holy crap, the sun flare is absolutely ridiculous in this game. It was bad in Warzone. It is much worse in Vanguard. There was a tweet that I read on Twitter where somebody figured out how to go into one of the INI files in your documents folder where your Vanguard beta settings are kind of stored, so to speak. And there was a couple of, or there was 1 or 2 lines that you could modify to actually reduce or completely eliminate that sun glare. I haven't tried it myself, so I can't speak to it personally, but this is something, if you guys want to take a look on Twitter, look for it. Maybe this is something that'll help you guys out. That's probably the biggest one that I thought that definitely needs to be fixed, because, yeah, having that sun kind of blare in your eyes, it hurts the eyes to begin with. B, like you're not able to see anything whatsoever on your screen. It's just a feature that doesn't need to be there. The second biggest one, and it's about as bad as the sun glare, is the footstep audio, which for the most part is non-existent. You basically can run around and you're pretty much running around like you have dead silence. It's ridiculous. You can't hear any footsteps, so you can't make plays, you can't outplay people. Um, it's a mess. The audio needs to be fixed, and it needs to be fixed ASAP, because if this is how things are going into Warzone, this is going to make a lot of people angry. There's not going to be any strategy whatsoever. It's basically you could run up a build, you can run into a building, run upstairs, and they're not going to hear you, and you don't even need dead silence in the game for things like that. So hopefully that's something that they do fix, and hopefully they fix it soon. Aside from that, server latency was kind of a bit of an issue. It didn't really hurt us all that much in terms of our gameplay throughout the day, so that's actually not a bad sign altogether. I think we had out of all the games that we played in about I'd say about like a 5 hour period, there was maybe 2 or 3 games total where we had major server latency issues where the server was lagging and we had like major packet bursts and things like that. So still a bug that obviously they would probably want to address to make sure that servers are stable and whatnot. But overall, it actually wasn't all that bad. So aside from that, there's really nothing that I can think of beyond that experience that I would say things that need to be looked at. Maybe some collision parts. I know there was a couple people that said that there was spots where you could see through the map, or you could see through uh, certain textures on the map and shoot through. Um, the one thing that I think definitely also needs to be fixed. Again, it's kind of a minor thing. Is kind of environmental collision. I noticed that, and again, I swear to God, I'm the only person that this ever happens to, especially when it comes to Overwatch. But I get stuck in the environment so many times, like where I'm running up a hill, and all of a sudden I come to a dead stop because of a pebble on the ground or a rock. So I don't know. It's just one of those things that kind of irks me every time, just because it happens to me so often. But environmental collision obviously should be something else that they could take a look at. So there you go, guys. There's my particular take on Call of Duty Vanguard. I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought of the Vanguard beta. Ask, check me out in the comments down below. Let me hear your guys' stories. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are about the Vanguard beta. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, I'd like to give a big shout out and a big thank you to Mattmon Gaming and his community for joining me on that beta gameplay. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully, we get to do this again. And yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence on buying the Call of Duty Vanguard. I haven't quite made a decision yet. Based on my gameplay here, I'm kind of leaning towards yes. I do enjoy campaign play, like single player campaigns. So if the campaign is really really good, I would probably be leaning towards buying Vanguard. But yeah, like I said, there's some definite bugs that they need to be fixing. There's a lot of information that's yet to be known about how it's going to integrate into Warzone, especially with the new map coming up. So we'll kind of see how it goes. Guys, if you enjoyed the video today, I do urge you guys, make sure you do drop a like, as well as subscribe to the channel as well, with the notification bell on, so you guys are alerted every time I release a new video. We're over 100 subscribers now, so we're trying to get our way up to 1,000 subscribers. So guys, make sure you spread the good word. Hit that subscribe button. Tell a few friends and family members to come on by. Hit that sub button as well. I would really, really appreciate it. Don't forget as well, if you want all the news and updates on what's happening with me and my streams, make sure you guys are following me over on Twitter at RideOfPride639. This is the best place to contact me. If you guys have any suggestions, questions, tips, tricks, any things like that for me, following me over on Twitter is the best place to do so. Lastly, speaking of the streams, if you guys want to follow me and see all this action live as it happens and when it happens, make sure you're following me on Twitch at twitch.tv/RiderPride639, where I go live 3 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. and Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope to hear from you guys in the comments. Thank you all very, very much for tuning in, and until next time, guys, take care.